Most people do not struggle financially after 53 because they suddenly start making bad decisions. They struggle because the decisions that once worked quietly stop working. By the early 50s, life appears stable on the surface. Income feels predictable. Responsibilities feel familiar. Routines are well established. From the outside, everything seems under control, but underneath that stability, pressure slowly begins to build. Not all at once, not loudly, quietly, and because the change is gradual, most people do not notice it until it becomes difficult to manage. At this stage of life, many people believe they have already done the hard part. They worked for decades. They stayed responsible. They avoided major mistakes. So they expect things to become easier. In reality, the financial challenges simply change shape. One of the biggest reasons people struggle financially after 53 is that time starts behaving differently. Earning years begin to shorten. Spending years begin to stretch. Income often becomes less flexible, while expenses become more unpredictable. Healthcare costs rise slowly at first, then suddenly. Support for family members increases. Unexpected needs appear without warning. Many people are prepared for bills. Very few are prepared for uncertainty. Another problem appears quietly. Comfort becomes more important than adjustment. In earlier years, learning new skills feels normal. Changing direction feels possible. Making sacrifices feels temporary. After 53, comfort feels earned. And change starts feeling unnecessary. People keep the same financial habits they built years ago. They manage money the same way. They assume what worked before will continue working. But the world does not stay still. Costs rise. Markets shift. Job security changes. When financial habits remain unchanged while reality moves forward, pressure builds. Another reason many people struggle financially at this stage is confusing income stability with financial security. A steady income feels safe. It creates confidence. But income is not the same as independence. Health issues can reduce earning ability. Work opportunities can change unexpectedly. Companies adjust faster than people expect. When income becomes uncertain and no alternative support exists, stress increases quickly. Savings alone often do not solve this problem. Many people believe saving money is enough. Over time, inflation quietly reduces purchasing power. Expenses rise faster than expected. Medical and support costs appear at the worst possible moments. Savings that once felt comfortable begin to feel fragile. Another factor that creates struggle after 53 is emotional spending, not reckless spending, not obvious mistakes, but spending driven by responsibility and pressure. Family expectations increase, support requests grow, saying no becomes uncomfortable. Money starts being used to maintain peace rather than stability. People help others while quietly ignoring their own future needs. This generosity feels right in the moment, but without boundaries, it creates long-term strain. Lifestyle pride also plays a role. By this age, people feel they have earned a certain standard of living. Reducing expenses feels like failure. Downsizing feels like going backward. So habits remain unchanged even when circumstances shift. Small monthly pressures turn into large yearly burdens. Another reason financial struggle appears after 53 is the shift from planning to hoping. Earlier in life, people plan, they calculate, they prepare. Later, hope quietly replaces structure. Things will work out, nothing major will happen, there is still time. Hope feels calm, but hope without planning creates vulnerability. The mind often avoids uncomfortable questions. What if income reduces? What if health changes? What if expenses rise suddenly? Avoiding these questions feels peaceful until reality forces answers. There is also a psychological shift that makes financial struggle more likely at this age. Identity becomes fixed. People see themselves as experienced, capable, and settled. Anything that challenges this image feels threatening. Learning new financial approaches feels like admitting past choices were incomplete. Starting again feels uncomfortable. So many people avoid adjustment, not because they cannot change, but because they do not want to feel inexperienced again. This resistance slows improvement. Another hidden issue is outdated assumptions. What worked 20 years ago may no longer be effective. Costs are higher, timelines are shorter, margins are thinner, yet decisions remain based on old expectations. This gap between reality and belief slowly drains stability. Financial struggle after 53 rarely feels dramatic at first. It feels like mild concern, then quiet stress, then constant pressure. Bills get paid, but confidence fades. And because the decline is gradual, people often blame themselves instead of recognizing the structural shift happening around them. If you are listening to this and feeling uncomfortable, that is not a bad sign. It means you are noticing something real. Awareness is not failure. It is the beginning of control. Financial difficulty after 53 is not inevitable, but ignoring reality makes it likely. There is one belief that causes more harm than any expense: the belief that it is too late. This thought does not arrive as panic, it arrives as resignation. People believe change no longer matters. That belief stops adjustment. In truth, progress at this stage of life comes from focus, not speed. Careful decision-making becomes more important than moving fast. Stability comes from protecting what you already have, reducing unnecessary risk, and planning realistically. People who improve their financial situation later in life do not chase excitement. They simplify. They align spending with reality. They plan for health and support. They stay flexible in their thinking. They continue learning, calmly and practically. Financial peace is not built through dramatic moves. It is built quietly, one decision at a time, one adjustment at a time. If this message feels relevant to your life, take a moment to stay connected to principles of wealth. This channel exists to support thoughtful financial decision-making over time, without pressure or false promises. Struggling financially after 53 does not mean you failed. It means the environment changed, and when the environment changes, adjustment matters more than effort. The earlier clarity replaces avoidance, the calmer the road ahead becomes. Financial security is not about having more. It is about managing better, planning honestly, and staying aware. The second half of life is not about speed. It is about direction, and direction is always something you can choose.